Hello, the one and only Xylophone here with another ARK Survival Evolved Dossier. Now this one was actually released quite a while ago, but I figured might as well tell you guys a little something about him because he is being released very soon. This is the Quetzal, otherwise known as the Quetzalcoatlas. Now he is the largest pterosaur to exist. He has the largest wingspan at least. Now the plan is for this guy to be added is he will be another platform base such as the Brontosaur or the Paraceratherium or the Plesiosaur. Now if you put that together, that is a flying platform base. You can have a flying house. Now the thing about the Quetzal is, although he was very large, he was very frail, because being at such a large size, he needed a massive wingspan and a very light body to actually be able to lift off the ground. So he was very lightweight. Now couple this with the idea of putting a lot more weight on him, doesn't really make sense to why he would be able to fly a lot, but I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. I won't ruin the illusion that ARK is creating for you. This guy can carry a ton of weight, because he has big wings. So you can put a base on his back, you can put turrets on that, but they do acknowledge that he's not going to be, a flying warship. It's mostly going to be for transport purposes. This, however, is going to be very useful in many aspects of the game. Anyway, here it says, in the wild, from afar, it's hard to believe that Quetzalcoatlas is one of the largest avians on the island. It shares a similar silhouette with the pteranodon and nests near the absolute highest peaks. Upon closer inspection, though, Quetzalcoatlas is an enormous creature of tremendous power. I find it strange that such a large, imposing beast would be so skittish. Unlike other creatures of the island in its size, it is more likely to flee than fight. I suppose the decision to flee from any trouble keeps the species alive on the island with so many dangerous predators. But then, how does it eat enough to sustain its massive size? Alright, well that just shows you this guy's not the strongest fighter. He is willing to run if he has to, cause, well, he's, definitely massive and could be a great meal for many of the carnivores. So he wants to get out of there as much as possible. So he probably has to do a lot of eating of smaller creatures to keep up that size and, sustain that body mass. But that's the thing, he doesn't have a lot of body mass and that's why he's able to fly a lot. So it really does help out. Now, when you domesticate this guy, tamed Quetzalcoatlas have a very specific role on the island. Too slow to be an efficient local transport, and too weak to be an effective warbird. The tribes I've encountered tend to employ it as a mass carrier. Quetzalcoatlas is primarily used by these masters of the skies to safely carry vast quantities of supplies, creatures, and human cargo from one base to another without tiring. Now, this dossier was released months ago, and this was before the concept of platform bases was even fully explained. And I can't imagine anyone who thought about this being one of them, but yeah, it makes a ton of sense when you look back at it. Otherwise, how would it carry tons of resources and creatures? Obviously, it could pick them up and carry them, and obviously you could store inventory on it, but having a base on its back would make this all a lot easier. Now, I can only imagine how a little scary it'll be having some of your loved dinosaurs on this guy's back as you're trying to keep him steady flying through. Obviously, he's not going to be fast at this size, certainly not when you have, something heavy on its back. But it'll still be very useful if you do have to get to a far base. For example, in my Let's Play, if you wanted to go from our normal base to, say, Mount Olympus, that wouldn't be too bad. But if we want to go further across the island, maybe towards the volcano or something, we would want this guy, because he'll help transport it across a lot of the difficult terrain, and have a much smoother ride than going through T-Rex infested territories. I really think this guy's going to be really fun to have in the game. People are going to think they can make warships on him, and honestly having turrets on him will help keep them alive. But, to be honest, I think these guys will be sniped out of the sky in PvP, so it's mainly going to be an asset in PvE. But, let me know what you guys think of the Quetzal. I'm really excited to see him in the game, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.